The Call We Carry is a documentary produced by the Tacoma Fire Department on what many firefighters face throughout their careers. Here's a clip of the video.
Just over 34 years, I've seen a lot of things. We only investigate major fires. Fatalities or high dollar loss or arson, criminal in nature.
Serial arsonist in Tacoma.
Increases in assaults, robberies, and arson.
Every call, there's some level of trauma.
It's rewarding work, but it's not good work.
The screams and the smells.
We lived through that over and over again. That's continued repetitive trauma.
Firefighters, if we're good at anything, I can wear a smile when I'm at work and do my job, but I also was going to kill myself.
Over 37% of first responders meet clinical diagnosis for PTSD. That's astounding.
You're not just a firefighter. You're a dad, a mom, a brother, a sister.
The sheer volume of things that you see, they're going to have an effect. They're going to take a toll.
Not felt like there was some sort of a stigma attached to it.
The fear of appearing weak.
You got a front row seat to human tragedy.
Self-care is not an option in this line of work. It has to be this way.
When we're outnumbered in the line of duty deaths, is when we really need to start opening people's eyes and going, what are we going to do about this?
Chief, why is it important to you that people know and understand the realities and challenges that firefighters face?
The goal of this film was to bring to light, an issue that has been going on in the fire service and amongst public safety responders forever. And I think that the only way we truly begin to address that is by talking about it, is by bringing it out, bringing it to the surface, giving people an opportunity to see that they're, one, not alone, and two, that the only way that they get better is by having a conversation about it, about reaching out and getting professional or supportive help.
Cody, besides being a firefighter, you do videography as a hobby and you produce this documentary. It's clear that you put a lot of thought and heart into this. Working in the background over time, did the initial concept or vision you had for this documentary change?
Substantially, yes.
How?
It was initially supposed to be a short, 5 to 7 minute video highlighting our services within our department, our peer support team and resources available to our members. And it all kind of started very organically, and that's how it came to be. We started talking to people, and then their stories compelled all of us that listened to them. And it was very apparent early on that we had a little more than 5 to 7 minutes of material that needed to be shown.
When it was all said and done, was there anything that surprised you?
I think the honesty and the vulnerability that some of our members displayed on camera surprised me. Firefighters, we put up a wall and we put on that persona to appear strong and get our jobs done, and I figured that would carry on camera, but it was more of an organic, friendly conversation.
Now, you grew up in a fire family. Both your parents retired as firefighters, and I know you've had your fair share of trauma in your own experience. How does trauma build up over time?
I think it builds up over time due to accumulation. The things that we see, we carry with us, and it doesn't matter if it's something that we saw when we first came on the job, 5, 20, 30 years ago. Those things still can accumulate and build on to one another.
And working in emergency response today, is there still some stigma attached to asking for help?
Yeah, I think you know we are hopeful that this conversation and this effort are starting to move us in the right direction. But absolutely, I think people are we have decades, you know, a century of tradition of not talking about it, of being tough, and of defining ourselves as not being impacted or affected by the work that we do. And I think that that's going to take a while to move that and change that culture.
And Chief, how are you proactive with that? What kind of available resources are out there for firefighters facing this?
Yeah, I think it starts with, first of all, creating a culture within the organization that says that you know, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be strong or impervious to the reality of being human, and that all of us should be impacted by the things that we see. That means you care. And so I think that it starts with making sure that people recognize and hear that from me, quite frankly. And then, you know, we provide professional services for folks. We have a chaplaincy who is always available for us, and quite frankly, contracted on staff. We have a mental health provider, so that people who need that kind of help can reach out. And then, of course, we have the amazing benefits through the city. And then, of course, there are organizations nationally that people can reach out to that are specific to first responders.
And what is the hope for other emergency response agencies to gain out of this documentary?
I hope that other organizations will look at their culture and really reflect on how open they are to making it okay for people to say, I'm not okay. And then providing and directing people to the appropriate resources for assistance.
Well, thank you, Chief and Cody, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share a message of hope that no one has to suffer in silence. They don't have to be alone, and it is possible for them to get their happy back, to get their life back. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.